This is Fantasy Baseball Today from CBSSports.com.
And we welcome you to an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. Here alongside Scott White and Al Melchior, I'm Adam Azer, and these two are going to help you set your lineup for Fantasy Week 17, who to start and who to sit in that week, which begins on Monday. Al, let's get started with a pitcher, Rick Porcello at Arizona at the Angels. Start him this week.
Yeah, I do think that you should start Porcello this week, and I've been a little bit hesitant in the past, but remember that this week coming out of the All-Star break, you're going to have a lot of number 4, number 5 pitchers making 2 starts, and among that crowd, Porcello gives you a pretty good option because he's got the strong ground ball tendencies, very, very good control. The Angels do represent something of a scary matchup, but his other start actually comes against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. That's a good one. So I think there's enough meat there to make it a good week.
Corey Dickerson is a start for you.
And he hasn't been that productive recently, so you may look at that and his first 3 games here against Doug Fister, Jordan Zimmerman, and Steven Strasburg and say, I don't want to start him. But I think you should, because all 6 of the Rockies games are at home this week, where he's batting .349 with a .1047 OPS, and 5 are against right-handed pitchers. Seems like even with Carlos Gonzalez back, Dickerson is going to remain in the lineup against righties, and I think he's going to be good.
2 more starts for you. Al has not lost faith in Jimmy Nelson, who had a very bad start over the weekend against the Cardinals, but he's got 2 starts this week.
That he does, and that certainly helps Nelson's value, but he's just been fantastic in AAA this year, and I expect that you'll have performances more like that with lots of strikeouts, good control, good run preventer, so with 2 starts, unless we see an extended bad streak from Jimmy Nelson, it's going to be hard to bench him.
And he's got the Reds and the Mets at home. And finally, with the starts, Scott White likes Kurt Suzuki this week.
I do like Kurt Suzuki. I don't really like him for the second half, but this week, good matchup against the Indians and White Sox rotations, and the splits all work in his favor because he faces 3 left-handers in 7 games. He's a .333 hitter against lefties. The Twins are at home all week, where he's a .344 hitter. So regression may be coming, but not this week.
Let's get to the losers in Week 17. The sits for you here. Jacob DeGrom has 2 starts at Seattle, at Milwaukee. Sit him down.
I think so. In spite of the fact that DeGrom's had some success lately, he has had it in his most recent starts against the Braves and the Marlins. Now, the Brewers do profile similar to those 2 teams in that they do like to swing the bats, and they give DeGrom maybe a possibility of getting some strikeouts, but I think a much more potent lineup than he's seen in a while. And the Mariners can swing the lumber too, so I'm not really trusting DeGrom with these 2 starts.
You know who can't swing the lumber for like a month and a half? Michael Morse, dude. And we'll sit him this week.
So not hot right now, that Michael Morse. And some of his matchups for this week, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw, Hyunjin Ryu. You notice something in common with those. 4 out of 5 are left-handers. And Morse has a weird reverse platoon split going on, batting only .196 against lefties. So I want to count on him turning things around this week.
I did not take you for a Zoolander guy. It's good stuff.
I like the Zoolander.
He sure does.
Yeah.
All right, John Lackey at Toronto at Tampa Bay. Sit.
Yeah, and probably just a few weeks ago, I would have been a lot more optimistic about these 2 starts for Lackey, but he's really not been very good away from Fenway Park, and at Toronto is a particularly fearsome matchup for him. And the Rays offense, they've woken up. So even though Tropicana Field is a pretty nice place for Lackey to pitch, I'm not really sure that I trust him against that lineup right now.
One more player to sit. It's a hitter. It's Desmond Jennings for Week 17.
Desmond Jennings plays for one of the 2 teams that plays only 5 games. They're the Rays and the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. The Rays actually have the worst matchups between the 2, Adam Wainwright, Lance Lynn, John Lester, John Lackey, Jake Peavy. Peavy is not so tough, but the other 4 are in a 5-game week. And 4 of them are right-handed. Desmond Jennings' OPS is about 200 points lower against righties than lefties.
All right, there you go. There you have it. If you want more start and sit information, go to fantasynews.cbssports.com and check out the columns. And, of course, check out Fantasy Baseball Today live, noon Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. This has been an exclusive presentation of Fantasy Baseball Today for CBS Local Sports. And for Al Melchior and Scott White, I'm Adam Azer. Good luck in Week 17.